Okay, hi guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for coming through and joining us today, and hopefully we're gonna have a nice, interesting chat. You've got lots of good, and congratulations on the baby as well.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Second
man.
one on the way.
Yeah.
It's been an
6
adventure.
months, hey?
6 months, yeah.
And you don't look it at all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that
I'll
because
take the
you-
compliment,
Is
but
that
it might.
because you've got a good husband? Normally, if the wife
You're onto
looks
something
good,
here,
it's
bro.
because the husband's doing a good job.
Yeah,
Bro.
I think he's taking good.
3-foot massages a week, guys.
At least.
Jeepers, that's incredible, and long may it last. I hope that happens well after the pregnancy
Yes.
as well.
we take like 2 years to get back to our normal selves. So after that, we can chat again.
Beautiful, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wanted to chat about a few things. Matt, you mentioned that you are now looking at gold and silver as an investment option, considering other things, property, ETFs, RAs, and pension funds, etc.
Right.
I've got my own opinion, and I just want to make it clear I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
I've got my own opinion because I'm just that guy. But I'd like to hear, like, what's your opinion? Like, why property? Why ETFs? Why RAs? Why pension funds?
So, we'll start with properties. I mean, one thing we wanted for us was to build our own home with our family.
Nice.
So, as much as an investment, Kim has her own property in Johannesburg, which she uses as a rental property making. And both of us invested in our first home last year.
Fantastic.
We want to keep that in a nice location, which is La Lucia. We think there's potential for growth. I'm a firm believer in the city of Durban
Yeah.
in terms of
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
Durban at heart.
potential. Yeah.
Love it.
So that was the main reason for that property investment. We would like to invest in more properties going forward when the time comes.
I think also property feels tangible. It's something you can look at, you can see, you can feel like you can own it.
Yeah.
I think we also have a little bit of understanding. Even if you don't have understanding, you have it. You feel like, there, I have something. It's worth this much.
Right.
We also like to kind of dabble in things that we kind of are not knowledgeable about. I don't know anything about crypto. I hear that I should be investing in crypto. I know nothing about it. I don't like making misinformed decisions.
Right. Fair enough.
So I think Matt is learning more about the space. So of course I trust him within that investment portfolio, but I don't understand it. I understand things like property. I'm a little bit old school.
Right.
Physical gold, property. No one can take that away from me,
Yeah.
if it's safe and secure. So then obviously the EFTs, the trusts, we're using like long-term investment companies that have been around for a while. So yeah, you can see I have trust issues.
Right. And if you don't mind me asking, okay, so I did property as well. I did it because I read Robert T. Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. We come from nothing, so we had to learn along the way. And if the book says this is what you do, it makes sense. And I must say, it really worked well for me for a long time. But it got to a point where the taxes now are ridiculous. Your property rates and taxes, your rental market hasn't crept up to to keep up with that sort of inflationary costs. And then also I'm finding that there's a lot of pressure in the market. So if you look at rental properties, people just don't have the disposable income they used to. So we've got, I look at the portfolio once a month or so, and I'm noticing it's a lot more difficult to get rent out of people. And also increases are a lot harder to put through. So in the old days, and I say the old days, I'm talking like maybe 15, 20 years ago, we could do the normal 8 to 10% increases in rental. These days, we're lucky if we're going to get 4%. And if that, most times we're just telling the guys, okay, let's keep your rental stable. Except Cape Town. Cape Town's doing really well for us.
Yeah.
Skyrocketing. But Gauteng, KZN, not doing great. So I'm not crazy about property as an investment anymore. And I get your point that it's tangible, it's stable. I just feel that it's not done what it's supposed to do. In the States, it's a protected market, so your tax rebates on properties are great. South Africa, they've sort of crept into every aspect, SARS rather, where you're not getting the benefits you used to. So there was a Section 13 SEX, I'm probably getting this wrong, someone will correct me, but there was a Section 13 SEX rebate that you got if you own 5 new properties and you could sort of depreciate it over a 20-year period. They just don't allow it anymore. I know it's there, it's in the act, but literally if you try and claim it, you'll get nothing back. And they've made it so difficult that I just don't like property. I still have them, but I'm not crazy about it. Whereas the gold I've bought, I've bought, I'm not saying bought, what a weird word. The gold that I bought 10 years ago, it's just gone up insanely.
Yeah.
And we're looking at today, 92,500 for a 1 ounce Krugerrand, gold Krugerrand, that, I don't know, 6 months ago would have been, I want to say about 60,000 Rand. It's 30 grand increase. That's a 50%.
Yeah, and you're not going to see that in property. At all.
Properties, never.
Yeah.
There was a time we were getting like 8% ROIs on it,
Yeah.
if you're lucky. And then the other problem is inflation is real inflation, in my opinion, is like 13%, 14%. But when it comes to CPI, it's at 4% or something along those lines. I haven't seen bread, really track against it. I haven't seen your cars. I mean, cars, entry-level car now is like $1 million Rand. It's madness. I just don't understand it anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think it's becoming one of those things where it's difficult to be living in this economy.
look,
Unless you allow yourself to learn a little bit more,
Yeah.
so you can actually make the right decisions.
yeah,
Because what you think you know to be true, like investing in property, could turn around and be a bad investment.
I think all investments, all we're trying to do is just to stay where we are, right? And grow over time. Because we're working, so like Kim, you're working in your business constantly. That's the best return you're ever going to get. No one's going to give you that level of return anywhere else, right? No bank will give it to you. No crypto would afford that because your hustle will give you 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, times whatever money you put into it. So those are always the best investments, in my opinion. But then all that money you generate now, you've got a surplus if you're not living, below the pyramid. So you're not living at like hand to mouth level. You have an excess, and that excess is for your kids. So that one day they have a good life, because we don't know what they're going to be able to, accomplish.
I
in their
mean,
time.
have you looked at the price of school fees these days? It's ridiculous.
It's fun stuff.
So can you imagine in 13 years, 14 years, when it's insane, actually. If you look at the top schools, how much is Hilton? It's like 360K
400
a
odd.
year.
Really? 360?
360, 400K a year.
Wow, what school is that? That sounds amazing.
Hilton College.
Hilton.
It looks like Hogwarts. So.
Is it?
I
love
it's
it.
a good school, but it's like, it's aspirational for us to work towards something like that as well, because that's what we want. You want to give the best to your kids as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've got school fees, then you've got that period where they're finding themselves.
Yeah.
You have to support
The
them.
gap year. The infamous gap year.
It's a rich people term.
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't
most
believe in
people
gap years.
just don't
I
have it.
didn't. I wasn't afforded a gap year. I was straight to university.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fortunate to get to 21 and then started paying rent.
You got to 21.
Yeah, bro. It's
Okay, so wait, hold on. So after school,
after
university?
school. I actually went down the path of professional rugby.
Nice.
That was my dream. Play for the Springboks one day.
Excellent.
So I took part in the Sharks Academy and the whole setup there at the Sharks in Durban.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, look, I started by 21. My dad was like, "Listen, if your rugby's not paying the bills, you're gonna have to start paying rents, the medical aids, all those kind of things." So it made me step up, what I was doing in the rugby space, which was good. But I think the lesson I would have learned from that was telling my kids at a young age, you need to start paying rent,
Okay.
Just
the
learning
term-
a
the
little
term
bit of
range is
financial
in-
literacy
yeah.
From,
I mean, that
from a
was-
little bit younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not by any means underprivileged. I was very fortunate to have parents that supported my dreams and going down the rugby path. But I think once the 21 was the age where my dad said, "Listen, it's time now that you really start making, otherwise you're not going to push yourself harder to," and that's got me into business.
I love it.
Yeah, that's when I started diversifying, not just playing rugby, but thinking about investments, thinking about how I make other streams of income.
Yeah. So getting that passive income stream to support you, so that you don't have to work the 9 to 5 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And tell me something like, for me, it's a strange thing. And I know people are going to give me a lot of flack for this, but I am not one to believe in following your passion in order to survive.
No, I actually agree with you.
Well,
I don't know if he
it's also
agrees with you.
it also take me a long time to realize
But
that.
I completely agree with you. I feel like, there's so much contradictory advice that is going on, especially when it comes to social media. It's like, people are like, be authentic, be yourself, do what you love. But not everything that you love is actually good for you.
Yeah, I can pay the bills at the end of the day.
And can pay the bills. So it's like, you can put it down to a rudimentary thing. Like, you don't love going to gym every day, but you know it's good for you, kind of thing. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, on that note, like the chasing the passions thing, I did that at my 20s. That was one thing I can speak on. And I think once you get through that novelty of like, we really enjoy this, there gets a point where you have to make money. And I think in any professional skill that you do, when you're working really hard at it, the novelty starts to wear off and you start to be like, this is just as hard as anything else.
Yeah.
Just as hard as accounting, just as hard as being a doctor, just as hard as being a sportsman. You really have to push yourself. And I think, the takeaway, like, you do it for free and it's what you love. But when you start having to make money, it really made me personally look at rugby differently, because, now it's an 8 to 5. It's not just having fun with the friends,
Yeah.
And then I got into music and DJing, same thing. It was exciting in the beginning. And then I realized, like, how am I going to get this to pay the bills, It was like, let me just go back to what makes money and just focus on that. And
But in saying that, he has a nice balance. He works hard, and when he does want to do things that he's passionate about, he does it because he enjoys it, not because it has to pay a bill.
Yeah.
So there's no pressure to it.
I think that is the trick, Kim.
Yeah.
Exactly that. You've got to get to a point where there's no pressure.
Yes.
And the only way you're going to do that, in my opinion, is if you find the streams.
Yeah.
If you do, look, if your parents are rich, you're probably going to be set up with multiple streams of income from day one, right?
Yeah.
Because they've had that opportunity.
Yeah.
If you're of the majority, like myself, in this country, you don't have that privilege. So you're going to have to work like an animal for the first 20 years of your life, 10, 15, 20 years of your life. You're going to work damn hard.
Yeah.
And the reason you have to do that is because you've got to get at least past surviving. Half the pyramid, I always call it half the pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you at the point where you're not worried about food, shelter, about your kids' education and that sort of thing, you're at the place where you can now start reflecting on what's necessary to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
A lot of financial advisors, they call it the level 3 or level 4.
Okay.
And some people only get there when they're 60, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some people never get there.
Yeah. There's such a stress point to that, because if you think about it, some people are just trying to make it to the next month and the next month and the next month, and that never gives them the comfortability to actually live life comfortably.
Yeah.
But if you do make those educated choices, or if you're more informed or teach yourself, you can get there.
Why do you think schools don't teach us this? Why do we have to learn this when we
This
are
is
so far
the
in?
biggest issue.
Well, I believe there's a level of like control and school making us operators instead of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I think
Factory worker
They
mentality.
want to create a working force.
if
you
too
know?
many
Okay.
people challenge the system would crash. They need schools in order to
So why are we paying 360 grand for them to make us factory
make
workers?
Not me.
What is this?
to make us extra good factory workers. Yeah, I did go to one of the most expensive schools
And
in the country.
opposed to that, I went to a public school.
Yeah, so
Model
I'm-
C.
I'm-
Model
I'm-
C or public?
No, public. I'm
Oh, okay.
very similar to your
my
story
school
as
fees,
well.
my school fees for the day was hers for the month, and
For the year. It was for the year.
yeah.
Really?
I went to
Wow.
Coruscant Secondary.
Karostan?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
So we also grew up.
Catholic girl.
Catholic girl.
Love it.
Also grew up a little bit, actually quite underprivileged, and worked our way up. My mom's quite successful. She's in the aviation space now.
Congratulations,
Kim's
Mom.
mom's a
Wherever you
super
are.
entrepreneur.
She's a super entrepreneur, and that got bred into me very quickly.
What does Mom do? Tell me quickly.
She is director of Sky Aviation Academy. It's a leading
nice one.
aviation training institution in
Award-winning.
South Africa. Award-winning.
Wow. Mom teaches, creates pilots?
Not pilots,
No,
it's
okay.
ground staff and
Okay.
flight staff. So like every
The guys in
except
AXA.
People,
Okay.
people at Emirates, air hostesses, your
Right.
cabin crew, your Yeah, cargo.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
she's got about 300, 400 students
But
a
she
year.
was
obviously,
the,
you
she
need a
was
school
the,
for this. I never
you
thought
know,
about it. Well,
she was the original hustler, you know. So she's taught me to be resourceful in a way that, I mean, I worked in corporate. I think like not everyone's made to finish school and not work in corporate. Like working in corporate does give you some sort of life skill,
Right.
and then went on to become an entrepreneur as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think from there, like she's taught me the fundamentals of like actually pushing through boundaries. If something doesn't work, okay, cool, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna move quickly and pivot and adjust and do things where we're taking it as learning experiences over failures. So I think I attribute a lot of my success to her. So yeah.
Fantastic.
So yeah, we're very different, but it's very complementary, which is amazing.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
great. So with mom, have you ever? You must have, right? So mom would have been through ups and downs in her business.
100%, yeah.
And I always feel, and something that I wish school taught us, just going back to that theme, me singing that song constantly. They teach you to always succeed, and if you fail, it's a bad thing. Whereas as an entrepreneur, you're going to fail. It's a guarantee.
Yeah, you should.
And you need to know that if you fail, it's okay. Just learn from it and continue.
100%.
And fail again and learn and continue and fail again and learn. I feel like your entire entrepreneurial career, no matter who you are, Elon Musk is a great example. One of the greatest people of our time, in my personal opinion, has failed so much and constantly fails. But what's good about him is he doesn't allow anyone to get into his psyche. He just keeps going. He keeps moving. He gets up. Each time he fails, he tries something new. And the thing is, over time as an entrepreneur, if you have that mentality, you realize that yes, you are failing at times, but you're still so far ahead from where you started. So even if you fail, it's fine. You can afford to fail.
Yeah.
And people have the sense that, no, I can't afford to fail. But why? I mean, there are people in this country living off, what's minimum wage now? I think like $6,000 a month.
Yeah.
There are people in this country living very badly, but they are living at $6,000 a month. And there are people in this country earning salaries of $200,000 a month that are scraping through. When I say scraping through, I mean literally their lifestyle has caught up to them where they have to have
bad
the
money
really nice
management. It's bad priorities as well.
Yeah.
Living for affirmation, I think.
Ah, that's it, exactly.
From the outside world rather than building something of legacy, I think. Or just, making the right decisions with money. So I think that attributes to that long-term sort of, it's the financial literacy thing though.
It's a big thing.
I think a lot of people just don't know. I can't even blame anyone because some people just don't know. Like I didn't know anything about taxes.
Oh, sorry, I want to grab this.
Yeah,
you see? Manage your money like a effing grown-up. Sam Bessinger. How do you say this?
Yeah, Big Messenger.
Like Bessinger.
There you go.
Really interesting book because what's in here is the basics. And it's stuff that we just don't know.
Just don't know.
And, like in that book, when I read it, look, I'm a CA, so I'm supposed to know money, right? And I think I learned a lot about money by being in business, by having, different things and learning ultimately that if you don't spend significantly less than what you make, you're going to be in big trouble at some point. When COVID happened and all the businesses were tanking everywhere, we had a business very exposed to COVID. And at that time, we were like, wow, okay, what happens? But our life didn't change. We were lucky because we hadn't gotten into that trap of, like you said, affirmation, seeking, constantly spending so that everyone around you thinks that you're impressive. Living hand to mouth, having the banks on your neck constantly. And it's stuff that our kids need to learn.
Yeah.
And I know with you guys it'll be great because you've learned those lessons, so it'll be something that you teach your children.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah.
I think it's also, there's challenges on both ends. You can come from nothing and then learn how to manage money. But then there's also, when you come from privilege, it's harder to teach to kids because you want to spoil your kids, but you also don't want to raise spoiled children. So there's a big differentiation between the two. So how do we teach our kids? My daughter that she can have everything, but she can't also have everything, you know? That's kind of a question, something that we chat about all the time.
I mean, I personally believe what I lacked was an understanding of what things costed.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to go to a really nice school and have amazing home and food and all these things, but when it was like go out and make enough money to buy those things, there was that gap as a child. And I think I only started realizing when I moved out of home, having to pay rent, okay, this is what I gotta make a month, this is how much food costs, this is how much medical aid costs. Gosh, like, you know, I'm fortunate to have two very young sisters that are going through the same thing and, well, the same process as me, going into high school, finishing high school now, and they're at that point where they gotta decide, is it university, is it getting a job, experience, you know, not going down the path of going to university. Still studied and played rugby and all those things, but you know, you eventually there's a part of your life where you got to make some money, you know. And I think that principle I would love to teach our daughter and our next child, how to make what money is, you know. Like,
just the value of things.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanna go watch a movie, you know, like understanding what that costs, you know, not just like there's some pocket money, but how hard do they have to work to get that pocket money, you know? Not to make them work, but just to understand it, you know? That little correlation and understanding and how to save and all those little small habits that they can incorporate in their life would give them that step ahead when they leave, you know?
Yeah. I think it gives you that little bit of an edge.
I think with my little one, and some people think maybe going down the wrong path. And I don't know. None of us know, right? There's no.
We don't. That's the
there's no
thing. You
handbook
just
for
don't
this
know
thing.
until they get older, and then you're like, okay, maybe I've done
I'm like, screwed it up. Okay, let's try with another one. Like,
We've got two. If one is successful, okay, we've done a good job.
1 out of 2.
50%.
Well done. I think with me, because I've spent so much of time trying to think about it, I literally tell her, my little one is 7 years old, I tell her everything. I don't care what it is. I tell her, this is what I had to do. This is how much we have in the house. And the more I read and the more I follow, successful people, the really wealthy ones, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
They teach their kids. You cannot emulate struggle, of course, and the thing that drives people to open businesses and to really be good at them and persevere when things are falling apart around you is that you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like there's no safety net around you. There is nothing that's going to stop you from being on the streets. You, your kids, your whole family, unless you make it work, right? So mom's hustle would have been
Very
absolutely
similar,
extreme.
Yeah.
And you would have seen that.
Yeah.
Not really understanding what mom had to endure, like mentally.
Yes.
Right? So now we're in this place where we've got a bit of privilege. We're not struggling for food and shelter and clothing and security and education and all of that. So we're not struggling for those things. And your child now gets into this point of, no, it's fine. These things happen. Food comes and school comes and this comes and that comes. But I force my daughter to understand these things. That doesn't mean she doesn't, she's not. What's the word? I don't know. What's your definition of spoiled?
No, but this is the thing. That's why I say I want to spoil my child, but I don't want to raise a spoiled child. And that's the big differentiator. Is like you growing up as well. You're gonna say there's things that you never had that you can now give your child. Why would you not? You've worked hard to be able to, so you should be able to. But there's also a line where I think that there has to be an understanding of value. The understanding of value for me is or hard work or yes, I'm getting this because I worked at it, or delaying the gratification and not instantly just giving into anything that they want, even if you can. Like just say, for example, when she's a little bit older and asks us to buy her something, it wouldn't be like, okay, cool, you've asked, now we're going to buy it. There needs to be something attached to that purchase, does she deserve it? Has she been working hard at school? It just depends on how you decide, in your opinion, what's important to you and what's important to your daughter. But I think those are the kind of things that we want to do with our kids. We want to make them understand that everything has value and everything needs to be worked for. Nothing in life ever gets handed to you.
Yes.
Because once she's 18 or 21 or out in the world, nothing's going to be handed to her. So even though we need to teach her that the world is not that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing, is teaching them the reality of the world. Well, like, life's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
We've worked hard to even get to where we are, and we work hard every day still. But I mean, you know, we're getting to a space now where we're like, okay, cool. We are able to provide and give and have surplus, and you know, we say we're just blessed, you know.
Yeah.
But it is important for us to teach value. I think value is one of the biggest things that I want to teach.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think there's also something that I read once where I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a very wealthy guy. He says he gives his kids anything they want experience-wise.
Yeah.
So if they want to travel, if they want to, you know, anything to do with experience, he'll give them. But anything to do with, like you said, affirmation, seeking, they need a car. They'll get a practical car. They don't need one that's, you know,
Yeah.
a Ferrari or whatever.
I mean, my first car was a Yaris. I love that car.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Still going. They're still on the road these
They're
days.
still on the road. They're functional still. Don't drive it anymore,
Yeah.
thankfully. But
Oh, you still have it?
no.
Wow.
I should
Actually,
say
sentimental.
my daughter, actually.
When we were first dating, she came to pick me up in the yard. It was,
She picked you up for the first date. Matt, what is this nonsense? What is this nonsense?
Don't pick him up. I was living in Johannesburg at the time, and we had like a run-around car that was at home. So I showed up with this little Yaris. But sometimes it's nice. You just show up as you are. You know what I mean?
100%. Be yourself. Absolutely. The only reason I wouldn't want my child to have my first car is because technology is changing so much
No, of course.
that the road is a lot safer in a better car.
No, of course.
No,
100%. I mean,
But it doesn't have to be a Ferrari. I mean, Ferraris are
Yeah.
not safe cars. My personal opinion.
BYD is
nice
coming
cars.
up with some nice cars too, you know?
But BYDs are very expensive. Well, they're
Yeah.
expensive
Well, there's
when you
the
look
Theo
at
and
the
especially
Jet
incredible.
How's the Jet Tour?
Yeah. I'm
Those
actually
cars are
like blown
beautiful.
away like by
I think his mom has a car and it literally saved her life.
the bike.
Yeah. Like it literally kind of
Things about it.
calculated or
Which
whatever.
car?
I'm not sure.
Bike.
Yeah,
BAIC.
yeah. What did it do?
Someone cut the lane, hit her, and she went into oncoming traffic, and the sensors automatically shifted her off back into the road.
Yeah.
Like,
Took
it
her off.
knocked
on
off.
the-
Clever.
And then the steering wheel brought her back. 'Cause
Okay.
Obviously, a car got knocked.
Collision
It
control.
could sense, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there was a car coming. It could have T-boned her, and she was done for. But
Wow.
literally, this shout out to the Chinese, you know.
Yeah.
And,
That's the
Safety.
Chinese.
But yeah, that's
I don't
just a-
trust Chinese cars just yet. I'm
that's
also,
it's a good
One of
example.
those, eh?
I'm
One of those
also-
people.
I'll finally will get converted, but I like, yeah.
So Japanese is okay, Chinese is bad.
No, I like German cars.
German is the best. Okay, cool.
What about
What's your car?
Tata?
What's
Tata?
Mercedes.
the Mercedes? Tata's good. Ratan
Yeah,
Tata
that's
was
right.
one of the most.
Yeah.
Part of the
Ratan
roots,
Tata
the heritage.
owns.
I mean, he owns the whole of
Land
India.
Rover.
Yeah, there you go.
What's
I
the
would
other
love
ones?
a
What's the
Range
other brands?
Mahindra?
No. Ratan Tata. So Tata owns. Please forgive me if I'm getting it wrong.
Yeah.
But I think they own Land Rover, and I
Jaguar?
think they own Jaguar.
Yeah.
I think Rolls Royce is in there somewhere. I think. Someone's gonna come
Yeah,
and
I
comment
know
and say, "You
about
idiot!
Jaguar,
You don't know
yeah.
what you're
I
talking
don't
about."
even think
How
I've
dare
seen
you.
a Tata car
How
in
dare
a
you?
while.
Is that?
No, in a while.
Fiat,
On the road.
the Fiat cars, they own Ferrari. So
Yeah.
Fiat owns Ferrari.
Right.
It's always those poor, right at the bottom, unassuming
Fiat
things
is
that make so
Italian,
much
you
work,
see,
money.
European cars
Yeah.
have.
The most expensive cars are all the Italian cars. The Bugatti, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, Marat.
I don't know. Like, where do you put Koenigsegg? What is a Koenigs? Someone's gonna know.
I don't
Thanks.
know.
Yeah.
What's
This-
Koenigs?
Koenigsegg is a hypercar.
It's because
And
it's beyond
stupid
my
money.
tax bracket.
No,
So
it's
it's
stupid
not-
money.
The conversation I
It's
had,
like
you know?
30 million rand
nuts.
for the entry level one, something like that. Yeah.
Okay,
and
so here's a question for you. If you had to give your daughter at 7 investment advice
Yeah.
right now, to say you're 7, you've got a long way to go. Here's your allowance for a month, whatever. How do you teach her to save a portion of that? And where would you say you would advise her to invest it?
Look, okay, so I
In
have
your
been,
opinion.
I have been doing it.
Okay.
What happens when kids are young? Everyone gives them cash, right?
Yeah.
So it's birthdays. It's she was born. Here's some money. So she accumulated a fair amount, and all of that was sitting in an investment account for her. That I felt, and I told her I was doing it. I was like, "Baby girl, I don't think this is the best way for you. This is earning like 6 or 7% interest per annum. Inflation's at 4-5%. Real inflation's at 15%. I don't like this one. I'm going to take all of your money and I'm going to convert it into a portion of a Krugerrand. Obviously, she didn't have enough to buy a full one, but I bought a Krugerrand and I gave her a portion of it with the same, her equivalent. And I've been showing her how well it's been doing. And I'm not endorsing any sort of thing. I'm just telling you what I did. So I showed her how gold actually does quite well. She also knows the basics. So obviously, allowance for a 7-year-old, what does she buy? What is she going to buy?
Yeah.
The stuff they want is like slime and just useless crap. Right?
Roblox coins, what it was again?
I don't let her play.
Which is good.
don't
Which
do
is
it.
good. Yeah, we try to limit screens as well.
Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole of wasted.
Yeah, the thing is
Yeah,
like
we had
value.
friends
Where's
that
the value?
Their kids have spent so much money on it and they don't even know. It's like literally or nothing.
It's amazing. So for her, she has to understand that it's not easy to have money, that she is privileged because she's born into a family where we don't have to worry about things. The day-to-day doesn't bug us at all. She has the opportunity to go to a really good school. She's got everything she needs. And what I love is experiences. So we go away on holiday as often as possible.
Amazing.
So
we also try to go annually.
Yeah, she's got to go. She has to see the world. She has to know that the myopic views that are shared by some of her peers don't have to extend into herself because the world is just far greater.
Yes.
And that's just my personal opinion on it. They've got to understand that the world is so much bigger, that views are so much more diverse, no matter where you go. Something that we might think is the norm here. I was lucky when I was young. I decided to save up my money and I went. I was in London. I'm not a big fan of the UK, but for anyone who's interested, I went to London, and the way the kids behave there was ridiculous. The way the people behave there was insane. I was on a bus, public bus, and a pregnant woman and her husband came on, youngsters. I'll say at that time I was 19, so they would have been about 25, 26, somewhere there. And pregnant lady, and she had a baby in a stroller, and they started fighting with the bus driver. And that's just, the behavior for me was just so vulgar and so weird. I didn't understand it. I'm not saying we don't have people here, but South Africans generally, no matter where you go, yes, we've got plenty of problems. That is the truth. But our people are a lot more friendlier. If you say hi to someone, they'll probably say hi back. No one's just going to start hitting or spitting. This couple decided to spit at the bus driver. It's ridiculous. They're not going to start doing that. Like, you're going to have a fight and say, why would you do that? And how could you do that? And there'll be a lot of bluster, and maybe it'll accelerate beyond that, maybe, and hopefully not. But we're just not rough people. We're not like indecent human beings. Not to say that everyone from Britain is. Please don't get me wrong. And then I had an experience on my birthday. I went to Asda. Asda is like the Checkers or Pick n Pay or whatever you want to call it, grocery store, big grocery store there. And I bought some things for my birthday because I was going to go back to the apartment, and your housemates, everything there you've got to share. So you're staying in crazy spaces. But anyway, all my housemates, we wanted to just sing and have a little thing. And these little kids, I was 19, and these kids, man, 13, 14-year-old kids, 6 or 7 of these little schmucks were walking past, and they grabbed, or they like ran, one kid ran his hand through my hair. So automatically you just grab him because you're gonna fight now, right? And the guy tells me, one of his friends comes quickly and says, listen, there's 7 of us and 1 of you. What do you want to do? You make a fair point.
Yeah.
You make a fair point. I'm probably going to kick 3 of you, but the other 4 is going to get the better of me. But it's just not something I feel that we would experience in this country. And because of that, we've got this very naive nature. We go to a different country and we just have this naivety, or we'll feel that things are expensive in other countries. They're like, listen, but we paying $4 or $5 for a burger. $5 in today's money is, I don't know, someone's going to correct me, with 75 Rand. And for us, you know, we've got burgers that are like $30. And you're like, oh, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And then like they're paying, you know, for drinks on that side, ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
I like to go to the Hooters where, you know, if I travel, I like to go to the
Compare prices.
Yeah, we the same
Not
with
to compare,
Starbucks.
I just like it.
What a coffee
What do you
in
do?
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Big Mac index.
The Big Mac index, there we go. Coca-Cola is the only one that's sort of like consistent.
Yeah.
Amazingly, eh?
Alcohol for me was in Australia was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, because it's so highly taxed. So like I think
okay.
you probably like get, I don't even know what the alcohol sells for these days. I haven't been drinking, but like what you'd pay 100 rand for, you're paying like literally close to 900 rand.
Yeah.
It's
Madness.
like, it's madness. It's like, this doesn't even make sense.
That's why they all fly to Thailand and Bali and
And then
I mean,
go crazy.
and then you go there
Yeah.
and money is like you're rich there.
Yeah. So
wow.
It's such a great
It's
experience.
amazing to travel. We love traveling as well. I mean, even just as a couple, we've traveled. We've taken Sky's also travel. Sky's my daughter. She's also traveled a little bit already, and I think that is one of the best things you can actually give.
Yeah, we have that similarity and agreement about experiences, like you're saying.
All the things.
We don't want to spoil the material things. It's just about how can we give it the best experiences, you know.
Yeah.
That's one thing I remember as a kid is like places I traveled and places I saw.
Yeah, you don't
That
really
never leaves
remember
your
the
memory.
things you have.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I mean, such a
All the Lego that I used to get in toys, I can't even remember, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Look, they help. They do help.
Yeah.
for sure. No,
there's
that
a limit to
excitement
it.
is.
Sorry?
I feel like there's a limit to it.
Yes.
You know, like parents, we're working so hard that we don't get enough time with our kids. So the way we compensate for that is let them have the best iPhone because they must have the best iPhone. And then every parent, if they're in a good school, it's like, Theo's daughter has an iPhone. I've got to get one. And then it's like literally
So
competition
that's
constantly.
also the difficult thing about like we were having to choose what school our daughter goes to, and that's like just don't want to put her in a school like that where it's like a comparison of material things. But I mean, you can't combat that. Like you just have to ensure you're raising her with the right arsenal of information, values.
No matter where you go in South Africa, you're going to get those that need to live up to the Joneses. That's a good one, right? I was waiting for that one.
You had, I can see you stored that in the bag for a while. You're like, let me get this.
You get those that have to live up to the Joneses. They have to have the latest. They have to have the best. They have to have every brand name all over themselves.
Yeah.
And then you get those that don't need it. And I think if you raise your child to be of the latter persuasion, so that they're not feeling constantly, what's the right word here? Insignificant when compared to their friends with more. There's always going to be someone who's got more than you.
100%.
Always going to be someone who has lots more than you.
Yeah.
So that sort of game is not a good one. And if you're in that space where what you're doing is to compensate for your child's social stature. And that sounds very strange, but basically they have to be the best. They must look the best. They must wear the best. They must travel to the best. They must drive the best. And then at some point they're going to get into that rut now where unless mom and dad is funding their entire life, they're going to get to that space where they can't afford it anymore. You know? And then if they can't afford it, are they now going to get into this depression of, oh man, I used to be the best at school because everyone loved me and I always wore the best names, but I just can't afford it now. Okay, let me go take a loan and afford it that way. And then they get into this terrible, terrible situation where they're just living well beyond their means to keep up pretenses. And, we're dealing with that stuff in South Africa right now, depression. We're dealing with, this spate of suicides, with debt. Normal people, if you had to look in your circles, so many people are living in debt. And I look at that and I start asking myself, listen, was I just lucky? Because my parents never believed in that. You would never get a brand name. You'd get practical.
Yeah.
If you wanted shoes, cool. You need shoes, no problem. But you're not going to get, Timberlands. I think I bought my first pair like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Never had it. Didn't even know what the hell that was. Didn't have, we never had Gucci. We never had, I don't even know what those were. I had to be educated at some point in my life. But those are not things that people need. It's nice to have. So you asked me the question, how am I teaching my daughter, what does she have to do? Exactly that. She can have anything experience-wise. If she asks me for something, she needs to understand what it costs She needs to understand how people would get it. But I also want her to understand, to break out of that almost employee mentality. I want her to understand she can have anything she wants. This world is available for you if you take advantage of it, if you know how to, set up multiple streams of income, if you clear yourself of that mentality of having to impress everyone else. So I feel the second you get out of that sort of conditioning that school puts into you. So she knows, well, I don't know, I try to encourage that. My wife is a bit different. She doesn't have to be the best in school. I really don't care. I'm not interested. Yeah, she doesn't have to be.
It's like,
I don't need it.
academics is always going to be something that's important to me. Like, it's because of the way I grew up, and I think it was, something that was aspirational. You go to university, you get a degree. I know that not for everyone.
Yeah.
But I feel like it also teaches a little bit of discipline.
Yes.
You can't speed up the process of going to university. If it's a 3-year degree, you're going to be there for 3 years. You're going to work hard for 3 years. And I think we do live in a society that's now very highly commanded by social media, and social media is dictating a lot of things. And because you're instantly gratified all the time,
Correct.
people really do believe that they're shortcuts. But I think that, like, with hard work and staying in, for the course, maybe you don't use the degree, but you still achieved it. You still went through the process. You still worked hard. So there's a certain level of understanding that you get from that. So it's not always you don't have to be a cum laude student, but you have to sit through the process.
Yes.
That's kind of what I believe. So academics has always been something important to me.
I agree.
Sorry. I want to touch on what you were saying about significance. I think, for the young listeners that are like sitting in that position, I think Tony Robbins.
Yes.
Money Master the Game. Waking the Giant Within. He's like probably one of the most sought after life coaches. Someone I definitely love listening to.
Yeah, we love.
He talks about the 6 human needs that we have, and I think one of them is significance. That no matter who we are, we have a need for significance, and obviously we all grow up as children wanting to feel significant in the eyes of others. Back to your points on, is it a car? Is it a watch? Is it the shoes? Is it, I think as a child, like the only time we step out of that or find a way to actually make it work for us is when we contributing. Like we can feel significant about actual contribution. Like, what are we giving?
Yeah.
And I think any wealthy, when I say wealthy and rich people that have billions and millions in the bank, they find a way to give more than they're taking.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's like that becomes the significance that they find in their life, is like how much can they contribute to the world, and then all of a sudden the money starts flowing in, and then it's you're not looking at like trying to keep up with the Joneses, get a nice buy a car that I can't afford, live in the house that
You're creating your own lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for me, I think that's how I got out of that rut of being like, am I enough? Am I significant? Am I doing enough? And I just felt like, if I'm contributing, all of a sudden, like my cup is a lot fuller. Then, am I wearing the right things? And, do I have enough money? Am I able to spoil my wife enough, Like,
Matt and I live, we laugh about our different, because I like nice things. I understand it all. So I feel like if I go to Dubai and I see a nice handbag and I've worked hard and I want to buy it, and I can afford to.
Jacquemus.
Then I'll do it.
But Hermes was there. I was like, oh, babe, what do you want for your birthday?
Then I'll do it.
Just a Hermes bag. I'm like,
Just a
what's
Birkin.
Hermes?
Birkin will be fine.
Hold on a minute.
$500,000 rand.
Hold on a minute.
Look, and I feel like there's spaces for that too, where we're so different in that sense. Like Matt he's the salt of the earth person, simplest person. Frans, he's never worried about it. So it gives me a little bit of balance as well, because it's not the most significant thing. I wouldn't go out of my way to go get it to impress someone else. But if I want it and I'm able to give it to myself, I also think, why not? I've worked hard for it, you know? So there's also that balancing act where it's like, sometimes it's just for you.
Yes.
And it's not for the world. I've worked hard, I feel like, my whole life, because I've been working behind my mom,
Right.
and always trying to sort of grasp everything from her to understand that this is how you become successful. So there are those little things that you just want to give yourself as a reward.
Yes.
So I think that that's also important.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do agree. I think you've got to make sure it's important. This is the important part, that you are giving yourself that reward.
Yeah.
Right? If it's the car that you like, I like my cars, so I spoil myself if I want to, then you're spoiling it yourself, right? You're not going to the bank and basically robbing your future self or robbing your kids or robbing your spouse for that experience, you know? In the same way,
Robbing your spouse.
think about that. How many couples, and you know, this is the scary thing. I've seen it a lot. I interact with a lot of people, so I'm fortunate in that way that I get to get some sort of insight into what's happening. Not a lot, but you get a little bit. Spouses do not talk to each other about finances. Not everyone, but a lot do not talk about what's happening. One spouse is living in debt, the other one is, happily unawares of this mountain of debt that's been accumulated. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot that happens, but I think ultimately the important part, and obviously I'm not trying to give anyone advice, but I think if you're giving yourself something for you, like I did something crazy. I went to, when I was in Turkey, they make these beautiful vases. Have you seen them in Turkey? Stunning. I saw one. I know nothing about art. I know nothing about art.
Art is also a great investment.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because if I try and sell it, I don't think I'd get much for it.
But maybe it was just that vase.
Well, I saw this vase and it spoke to me. It struck me.
As long as it meant something to you.
I saw it. I was like, wow. I know nothing about art. I'll never be the guy to tell you about Picasso and Rembrandt and any of those other names that I should know. But this vase was so stunning to me. And then it had it's got like brothers and sisters. So there's a series of them, right? So there were 3 of them. And I don't know why I said I want it. I don't know why I want it, but I want it. The dude, I'm thinking like 10 grand, 12 grand, something there. 300 and something thousand rand. That's what the guy told me. I was like, oh my goodness, this is what stuff costs these days. Anyway.
Did you buy it?
See, now I knew you were going to ask me that. I should have started the story.
Did you buy the brother and the sister as well?
I bought it and it's sitting in a crate somewhere.
Is it in one of the vaults?
No, it doesn't fit here. It won't fit there. But I bought it and then I thought about it and I said, why am I doing this? This is like crazy, Because
was it an impulse buy?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I'm very rational.
Okay.
So I thought about it and I said, listen, I worked really hard and I'm going to keep working hard. So these little things help me to work out, because you get to a point where you've got so much, you don't have to work, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to work, but you have to want to work. So for me, it's like everything I'm doing now is for my daughter. Everything. It's for her. So that one day, if she's in a position where she wants to become, I don't know, a ballerina and her work just doesn't allow for it, she has that freedom to decide, listen, I'm cool, thank you, but I'm leaving. Like, I don't ever want her to be enslaved by any sort of regime, and even more so because she's a girl, I don't want her to be enslaved by any spouse.
Yeah.
Like, no one should dictate to her, this is what she can do and what she can't do. Because money, unfortunately, buys you freedom if you've got it, or enslaves you if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was my thought on it. But ultimately, I feel like it's got to be something that you're doing, that you can afford, that is not for anyone else.
Yeah.
So if the Hermes speaks to you and it's for you, I'm like, by all means. The chances of you walking around with a Birkin, people are going to think it's fake.
Exactly. And in South Africa,
you spend $500,000 rand on a bag.
Anyway.
Everyone,
I mean, wait, you're going to know, you should put the vase in your house at least.
So we're building at the moment. Okay. Once the new house is ready, there will be a spot for it.
A shrine for the vase.
For it, so that I can see it.
Yeah.
And I can't just put it out, because the thing, like now,
I feel like it's a very nice trophy. Like, this is how far I've come, kind of thing.
It is.
Can be an anchor point to your life.
Exactly. And also, listen, the amount of work that went into that specific vase, it took a year to make one. It's also like, geez, I'm paying 100 grand. Okay, there's 3 of them, 100 grand each for a year's worth of work. That's, in my opinion, cheap. 8,500 rand a month, nearly minimum wage. And the quality made sense to me. But I promise you, if I brought it and tried to sell it, no one's going to buy it. Like anyone else looking at it.
You might be so wrong. It could be an investment piece that in 10
years,
years, like, someone's going to be like, that vase, You don't know.
Maybe, but I still would never sell it, like, because I knew what it meant to me.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it And again, I'm not an artistic person. I'm not the guy. In school, if they ask me to color in, you have to color in your books. Do you have that? You get like a book cover and you've got to color it in. And so we had a Bible studies cover of Jesus and a whole other thing. I'm not Christian, but anyway, we did Bible studies and we've got like Jesus there. And it was, I think, one of the nativity scenes. I just took like brown and colored the whole thing brown. So I was that kid. I was too lazy. I'm like,
And you're like, I don't have time for this.
I don't have time to be coloring in books now. That's crazy. So that was the level of, or the extent of my artistic ability. So for something to like really capture me meant that there was something there for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And
But I also think it's
Especially
probably...
as a CA.
Yeah, as a CA.
as a C, exactly.
No, his brother's a CA.
Yeah,
So
I understand. Me and my brother like chalk and cheese.
Really?
So
he's
Left
very
brain.
rational, yeah.
super like.
And he lives in America.
Right.
He's-
There's a
he's
CPA
a-
there.
He's a CA at JP Morgan, or actually he was a CA in Deloitte. Got to New York, and then he's
Did
an
his
investment
conversion.
banker at JP Morgan. So
Okay, nice.
yeah,
one.
he
Which
top-
Deloitte?
Durban.
Johannesburg.
No, he was in Johannesburg Deloitte, and then you got secondment.
I was in Pretoria Deloitte. I'm trying to think if I know your brother.
Oh, yeah,
that would have
maybe.
been fun.
Jerry Jones. Yeah, so
No.
yeah, he was
Big company that.
Yeah, he was the
myself
auditor there, and when he got his CA, he did 6 months in New York. They kept him on, and
Oh, nice.
anyway, he's been there for almost 10 years now, and
He also travels a lot.
yeah, he's in the thick of things right now happening in America, and it's amazing, to get that perspective from him, because he had it on his vision board from school. Like, I'm gonna be an
Yeah,
accountant.
some people just know.
And it's like for me, it's an incredible feat to you can
Oh, yeah.
create those, and you have to work hard, like any accountant has to go through tick all the boxes to get there,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible because he looks at life very differently to me. It's like, Matt, you opening these businesses, it's like you like, you haven't thought of-
He's a rational
yeah,
person.
I'm
He's
Okay.
more
very
creative. Like
calculated.
something comes up and it makes me feel good. I'll make a decision on that, and,
Nice one.
and I won't calculate it, and it hasn't worked really well for me. So I don't want to advise anyone else.
Is it okay? Well, give us some
it is
insight.
your
Like, what have you done?
happiness.
Yeah, I mean, so
He's done a lot. I mean, he's like, he should have been the mayor of Durban, I think. Umhlanga,
Really?
actually.
Okay.
I would not say that. Please don't.
Self-proclaimed mayor of Umhlanga. I
Yeah,
love
please.
it.
That's what my wife does.
You walk on the promenade and he's
It's
like,
Matt Jones, everybody. Go take your pictures.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. Yeah, no, I've opened a few businesses and hospitality, coffee shops, and with this vision of it's gonna work because I know marketing but
Yeah.
with having little knowledge about operations
And staff stealing constantly.
hospitality is difficult.
gosh, I mean,
It's staff. Am I right? It's
Because-
staff,
Staff
right?
is difficult.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
man,
people
yeah.
are difficult.
anyone. I mean, I got a respect for anyone that can
Yeah.
own a restaurant.
I think you open a restaurant when you're ready to retire, I think. Like if it's a small little coffee shop, you're not making
Yeah, no, I can go into
generational
We can
wealth.
go into a whole conversation with
Man.
how
got a
people
story.
make it work.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, it's one of the things we did, my wife and I. So we had a number of restaurants. And
Interesting. In Durban.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we had 4 here. 4 in KZN. In Gauteng we had a few, and then
You also work with your wife.
Northwest. Just my wife and I. We had nothing. So when we got married, it was great. We had absolutely nothing, so we could build. So everything we have is what we had together, right? But restaurants make a ton of money if you're in your restaurant,
Yes.
because people steal a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
Owning a
thing.
restaurant is you got to have a security company.
Yeah, I think with us also we were working whilst trying to run a cafe, whilst trying to there was just too much.
It was pure passion, and I mean, I have this, and I still to this day. For me, connecting with people, events, those are things that drive me, passion.
nice one.
Yeah.
So what's your hustle now? Like, what are you doing?
So we work together
yeah,
now.
we work
Well,
together.
and apart as well. I'm a brand strategist, so I consult for companies across the board in marketing.
Nice.
So marketing strategy. So we do cover everything about the line, below the line. I prefer to work with corporates.
Yeah,
just
'cause they've got
it's
money.
Easier. They've got money and it's easier, and it's like you deal with one person. You're not like small businesses is nice to deal with, but they just
Don't have money.
they don't have money, and they
Yeah,
like
100%.
it's just also time. Time and people. You want to work for someone where you're like, this is your annual strategy for the year. This is how we're going to do it.
And it's like 10 million rand. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It might cost 2 million extra, but that's fine. We've got contingency
And I
in
mean,
place.
they've got marketing budget. It's cool.
course.
So like we consult for a few businesses on that end. And then Matt is in branding.
Branding.
Branding, yeah.
Okay. What sort of branding? What do you do?
Well, my first hustle started in 21 when I was playing rugby. I was like, I need to make that, when I said I need to make that extra income.
Because you got to pay dad rent now.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I thought, and he actually advised me. He had my family business, my mom and dad worked together in printing.
Oh, nice.
Printing labels, packaging. And then
what's the name of the business?
Positive Prints.
Positive Prints, cool.
Positive Prints, and now it's Positive Prints and Promotion. And
that's you.
Yeah.
You promotion.
Promotion now, you know.
Dad's like, I gotta change the name. Yeah. Mom's like, nah.
Yeah, so it's I actually started with making caps, like baseball caps for my rugby teams.
Yeah.
That was like something that got me excited. I was like, I found an embroidery guy, got some cap suppliers, put them together. It was personalizing people's caps, and that actually grew into a nice little monthly income.
Oh, nice one. Well done.
So, and then I expanded on that, got into full uniforms, corporate uniforms, gifts, printing as well, packaging. And after about 10 years of doing that, I, got into moved away from B2C into the corporate space.
Right.
So I'm doing branding for corporates. Now myself and Kimmy have merged our skills, found synergy in concept branding. So activations. So but while I was doing that, when COVID hit, branding budgets got cut a little bit. So then I found myself thinking maybe I should get into hospitality. That's when I got into restaurants and events, and it's just been very hard.
So COVID hit and you were like, okay, people are sitting at home.
People are sitting at home. Maybe I should think about it.
If ever there was a time to open a coffee shop, it's now.
Yeah, terrible. Once again, didn't have that investment knowledge, So
I can imagine your brother saying,
Matt, what are you doing?
Matt.
All the way from America, he's like, what is this guy doing?
Like, dude.
People were doing crazy things in COVID, so. Yeah.
What's your brother's name, Matt?
Jared.
Jared's probably like, just send all your money to me. I'll invest it and you'll never have to work again.
Man, I should have listened.
Yeah.
He was like, just put your money into the trust for now. Like, just
relax.
Relax. Just
relax. And that's the interesting about COVID as well. Nobody saw all the flashy things you had.
I doubled down on it because I thought because no one's doing it now, maybe there's a gap here.
I love it.
Meanwhile, there was no gap.
It's like, the gap is there because everyone's closing down. The gap has been created. But listen, the thing is, you have to have it, right? Because otherwise we wouldn't have coffee shops right now.
Yeah. No, we enjoyed it. We did have a beautiful coffee.
Look, I mean, things might shut down.
It was exciting for the both of us to do together.
Nice.
And that was nice.
Where was your coffee shop?
On the Umhlanga Promenade.
Jeez, you in prime position as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, we didn't. It closed down due to unforeseen circumstances. It was quite successful, and it was a beautiful, beautiful space, and we love it. And we had another partner, a part of it as well. And I think that was, it was unfortunate, but
So
I'm sure if
just not meant to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was called Shaka's Cafe. It was very cute. It was
Shaka's Cafe.
Yeah. It's really cute. People miss it all the time. They miss it all the time.
Oh. Well, maybe there's a chance for Shaka's too.
Not after 2 babies. No.
Yeah.
Not in the short future.
Okay. All right.
Maybe long term. Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So printing, promotions, brand strategy, and that's the hustle, and it's working, and it's doing well. And
we're very fortunate, man. We've had an incredible, almost like a year run now of just growing our agency.
Long may it last.
Yeah, so we've got a little agency with some amazing people that we work with. People, for me, most important thing. Like skills can be taught, but we work with really incredible people, really incredible clients. We learning every day. Like, work is hard. We work a lot, and it's crazy. And with a toddler in the mix, it's I mean, it's even more insane. But we enjoy what we do, and we enjoy the people we work for.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done.
So
And long may it last.
What was the restaurant?
Man, I feel so bad saying it, but we've it's brands. I'll just put it that way. So we had a few franchises. We had a few concepts of our own as well.
Okay.
So they do really well. I'm not going to lie to anyone and tell you restaurants don't make money. They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you have to be in it.
Yeah.
Because the level of theft is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And South Africa is a special place there are no repercussions for stealing. I mean, if you go anywhere else in the world, if you steal,
Yeah, and I mean the employees are very
CCMA
protected
protects us a lot.
by the labor laws here. So
I'll give you an example, right? So we had a place in Hatfield, Pretoria, that it's a well-known brand that basically sold drinks and a whole lot of other. It was like not a club, but more like a cafe type of vibe, right?
Tiger's Milk.
No.
It's very much like a Tiger's Milk. I don't want to mention the name
Yeah.
because I don't want to have issues where people are phoning me and you can't mention my name.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had an employee there that was caught on camera pouring a beer for himself from the tap. And, oh, cool, great, he stole. So that's immediate dismissal, right? You would think.
But also drinking on the job.
Drinking on the job, dishonesty, gross dishonesty. That's enough for dismissal. No, the union representative came through and said, yeah, but how do you know that's alcohol? We're like, because from the beer tap, it's alcohol. He says, yeah, but what if it was water? Can you prove it wasn't alcohol? I said, oh man, now we're getting into these things.
Yeah.
I said, okay, listen, the world works such that employees are given, especially in the restaurant industry, they're given a very soft landing should they steal. We had another restaurant here in Umhlanga that an employee stole from us, and we caught him. It was quite a process. We caught him, dismissed him, told the brand about it because it's quite a big brand. Told the brand about it, and the store down the road from us, same brand, hired him as a manager. He's still there till today as a manager, but he stole from us, and we've caught him. So it's easy to steal and move right next. In Centurion, we had someone who stole from us and moved right next door.
Yeah.
So
No, that happens often. We see people all the time.
I mean, I got to a point where this was like 20. I can't even remember when. It was getting to me now. So I said, I don't care. I'll spend the money. Let's take this all the way.
Yeah.
So this employee stole quite a lot of money from us, significant amount, 60,000 rand. Stole, caught on camera, everything. Opened a case against her. She was dismissed, obviously, but then I wanted her to be prosecuted. So we went to the police. We opened a case. The case was initially, as soon as you open it, they close it. I don't know if you know, if you've ever experienced it. The police will do that. They open it and close it. So you have to go there and fight them to reopen it.
Sure.
Anyway, got it reopened, went all the way. It took us a year, and I had to fly up and down to go for the court cases, etc., to present evidence. And eventually got to the end where it was time for the judge to make a ruling. And the prosecutor pushed as hard as she could the state prosecutor. It was a criminal case, not a civil case. Pushed quite hard, and it was dismissed. Dismissed because the investigating officer didn't complete a document correctly, something silly like that. Dismissed, okay. So I said, okay, let's go after her in a civil case, which we did. And that cost a lot of money, and I won the case. I won the case, but I couldn't do anything with it because we couldn't attach any of her assets. We weren't allowed to. We couldn't go after any of her bank accounts. In other words, she literally was found guilty, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
And from that day on, I learned that, trying to do what's right makes no difference. So, if I was in your shoes now, looking at that business, you understand very quickly that if you're not there every single day, you're going to get into trouble. Guaranteed. I've done it. I've experienced. I've got the t-shirts and the caps, all the branded caps, etc. I've learned the hard way. But you do make money. It does make money.
Yeah, true.
It makes a lot of money.
You have to
Which
be
is
there.
interesting when you have multiple, how can you have presence at all this spots?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That was what happened. I had 12 at some stage. And I was like, fire here on a plane. Fire there, back on another plane. I got to a point, and it's not a joke, and I'm not... anyway, my wife and I were looking at it. We said, at this stage, you might have to look at getting a pilot's license. The one
You can fly
it's
around.
crazy. Man, it was a whirlwind experience that taught me that if you don't have control, and in your business, it's great. You've got the opportunity to work with a decent contingency of people.
Yes.
Okay, who have the right attitude, who are looking for growth and of opportunity in their spaces. The hospitality industry is unfortunately one where people aren't rewarded unless they, steal. So that's what they do, and it's so prolific in that industry. It's a norm. Every one of the people that I used to interact with who had multiple restaurants will tell us the same thing. Oh yeah, I got robbed the other day. Yeah, this waiter was stealing. Oh, the manager's stealing. Oh, this one's stealing. That one's stealing. It's like just such a norm. And one day I said, hold on a second. There's 10,000 independent restaurants. I think it was 10,000. I could be wrong. Independent restaurants in South Africa. What if we all got together and created a little consortium where I can put down Theo Woodley worked for me, and he was a waiter, and he did a great job.
Yes.
Or he didn't do a great job.
Or he
stole from me.
Yeah.
And this is
so
what
like
he did.
kind of blacklist people.
Yeah, because if I had access to that, I could go on and see, okay, not hiring Matt Jones, definitely hiring Kim Jones. You know what I mean? Like there's a way to do it. But we in this place where if you try to do it, EFF came to one of my places to burn us down. Not a joke. That's real stories. The unions will come after you. It's just like it's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh, you're gonna have to delete all of this.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into big trouble. But it becomes quite crazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not that there is a lack of investment in South Africa. We could literally employ everyone in South Africa if we wanted to. Deployment of capital is not too difficult. There's a lot of people in South Africa who have a lot of money that can invest in South Africa. There are foreigners who want to invest in South Africa. Our labor laws are ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is one of the
Like,
most
I mean, in
detrimental.
America, you can find someone on the spot.
Yeah.
You must have cause.
Yeah.
As long as you have cause, you
Yeah,
can
I
find
mean,
someone.
yes, but I mean, there's no like first warning, verbal warning, written warning, third warning, and then you go and, to court. There's a huge process, even when it comes down to like just sort of helpers in your home. Like, it's difficult.
Look,
But yeah.
there's definitely, there was a time where it was necessary. People were being penalized because they had the wrong color skin.
Yes.
For sure.
Because,
So, it's
like-
a balancing act of what the past has caused.
Yeah.
But where we are now, I think people just take advantage of that.
Yeah. There's loopholes, I guess, to everything.
Yeah.
So
But anyway,
it'll stabilize again.
one day,
Eventually.
make a lot of money and then you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
I heard a story about Dow Steyn, who had, before he passed on, him and his wife at Steyn City, they had that massive house. 2 of them with 50 servants. 2 people, 50 servants. Like, jeez, that's a bit crazy. I can understand like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Let's say 10.
They have people just to peel onions. They have people just to cut.
There's a person
A
who,
certain
when you need to
flour.
wash your hands, will bring you a
Yeah.
towel.
I mean, in India, that's kind of a norm. Not 50, but like, I mean, everyone has
Yeah, hospitality in India, I hear from Kim
hospitality.
and Mom's travels, is like out of this world.
Like we've traveled to some beautiful hotels in India. Have you been to India?
I have.
Yeah.
Did you, south or north?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, I've been a few times, but the hotels there is unparalleled. I don't think you can go
Really?
to anywhere else in the world where the service is.
Kim's
as good.
heritage is from the south. Tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But I mean, we stayed at some really beautiful hotels. Yeah.
Oh, nice one. I like the people in India. I wasn't crazy about India itself. Like I went to, I didn't do a lot. We did south. Did the normal things,
Touristy
Taj
stuff,
Mahal,
yeah.
that sort of thing, Golden Gate.
But
But
India it's a special place, but you have to. It's a lot. It's very stimulating in very different ways.
okay,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna really hate me for this comment, but I don't like discomfort much. So I don't like when we landed. I don't like that the plane door opened and like this gust of
Hot air.
smelly
India,
air.
It's chaos.
flew in.
It's
I was like,
chaos.
I'm not-
And like you
not friendly
fly
about
over when
this.
you land in Mumbai, you fly over like literally like the worst part of it. So it's like literally informal housing and
And there's a mansion here and then informal settlement, and then a mansion.
and then there's a
informal
7-star hotel, 5-star hotel, and then you like looking out the window and you're looking at. Yeah, the wealth disparity in India isn't something else, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful in its own way. It's beautifully chaotic. I think I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
I love my travel.
So what's your favorite country?
Favorite? I can't actually say. I love
Oh,
Italy.
Italy,
I love
okay, nice.
Italy. I love Europe. every place I went to is beautiful in its own way.
Okay.
And the experience, like I am very but I do enjoy more culturally immersive places
Right. Okay.
rather than like the Americas or Australia, where it's like basically,
Commercialized and very
commercialized
touristy.
country. I mean,
So
I loved
Dubai is not
Australia. No, Dubai is not for me. I've been a few times, but it's not my favorite place.
Okay.
But I like Europe, where it's like you go to Italy, you experience the pasta and the wine and the people, and
Beautiful.
you go to India and you go to Korea. Korea was amazing as well.
Okay. South, obviously.
So yeah,
Like with Kim Jong Un.
yeah, just meeting with young Kim. But yeah, like I like culturally immersive places. So like, yeah,
Nice one.
that's my fave.
All right. And you, Matt?
Yo, difficult one. I'm thinking. You
Like
know?
Bali?
Bali, Bali, Brazil was amazing.
Oh,
Like,
Brazil was also
Nice
lovely.
although there was some
The
parts of
favelas.
it- Yeah.
Yeah, we actually didn't go up to the favelas.
And I was like so excited. I was reaching out to all these like.
Matt thought he was going
rooftop-
to go DJ.
I did. I had a DJ gig. I actually organized this.
DJ gig in Brazil.
favelas.
Well done.
In the favelas, and
the
we were all
favela.
like, "I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, we're not." I had,
All right.
I had to
So-
my baby.
Yeah, so that was the catch because
And you're like, these are basically white people. They're not going to hurt me.
Bruh, meanwhile, like I
I
was
know
like,
nothing about the
And they're
favelas.
doing like
it was
capoeira
it
and
was
trying
the
to.
top of the favelas, and you
Yeah.
had to go through the whole windy road all the way, and there was this
Jeepers.
beautiful rooftop 360 view. And obviously, when I like Googled all these places, I was like, wow, I found an amazing place. I'm gonna reach out to them on Instagram. They were like, cool, we'd love to have your Afro, because they got a big Afro culture there, huge.
No,
Nice one.
The
Rio was
African culture in Rio is massive. It's like
Oh,
one
wow.
big-
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting.
So the one thing that I found interesting about Rio is that everyone looks different, but everyone
It's incredible.
is
Like,
Brazilian. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It
It's
is
a very
diverse.
beautiful
It's the
place.
most diverse place that I could ever think of, because you have a blend of African, a blend of Portuguese,
Yeah.
and then there's like there's a little bit of Japanese culture, and then there's like
There's
Wow,
just a mix. You
okay.
can't
not
actually
sure
tell.
is someone colored or someone African or someone Portuguese, just
Yeah,
nice.
and everyone
Brazilian.
speaks to you. Yeah, they're Brazilian.
beautiful.
They
I
speak
love
to you in
You
Portuguese.
can't actually say to someone like, "Are you African?" Because it's like you just mixed. Everyone's mixed.
Yeah.
I look Portuguese. He
Yeah.
looks Portuguese.
Yeah.
You would look Portuguese. I mean,
Right.
Brazilian. What am I
Some
saying?
guy
Portuguese?
some guy
Brazilian.
that's got very dark African skin, it's Portuguese, and it's like you know, it's like
Brazilian.
Brazilian,
So you're saying
yeah.
Portuguese.
sorry, I mean
You
yeah,
meant
so
Brazilian.
Portuguese speaking, but Brazilian, yeah. So it's anyway, we're talking about the favelas there.
The DJ.
So yeah, I got the
It
DJ
never
gig. I was like, cool guys, we're going up to the favelas.
Well, he's still here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never happened. I was like, ain't no way I'm taking my
so
child up
sad.
there.
I was
so.
like, I was so ready, man. I was like, guys, all we have to do is get through this rural area.
There's a famous staircase there.
Yeah, we
You
went
go to
to
it?
it. We sat on that.
we went
Beautiful.
there. We
Yeah.
did go there. I mean, Rio's
Did you meet the
beautiful.
guy that put the mosaics together?
But it's I mean, it's
But we did
it's
that.
actually
He's the artist there.
really really
We
long.
did a little rendition of the famous Pharrell and Snoop Dogg
Yeah,
music
we
video
did
they
it.
did there.
Oh, nice one.
You know that.
Nice one. Cool.
You know, we
cool.
have lots of fun. Traveling is honestly the best. We yeah, that's
Better-
why we
better than a
prioritize
Birkin?
it annually. I would rather
Close.
Why not have both?
Gosh,
have
well,
thought.
we'll actually book. We booked for a family trip to Abu Dhabi now, in Easter, and we like
Oof.
sitting in limbo now. What's going on?
I would
Yeah.
maybe look at another place if I was you.
Well, I
The
mean,
thing about it is everything runs.
non-refundable accommodation.
Yeah.
So we,
I mean,
Oh,
we
Shabbat.
will
so we
go
kind of
back.
like working out what's the laws around cancellation and
It's supposed to be our
non-cancellation.
baby
Yeah,
moon,
you've got to have
but-
that. Look, you've got travel insurance, don't you? Isn't it included?
Yeah, travel insurance, but it was more around the accommodation and stuff. But yeah,
Oh,
we'll
I
have
see.
to see. We'll have to
Oh,
see.
sorry. Good luck with that. I was
The people
I was-
out there in the UAE. man.
Yeah.
Sad. We know a lot of people that are on that side as well.
And how are they? What are they saying?
They're all good for now, but I think it's scary.
Of
you
course,
know?
the uncertainty.
It's uncertainty. It's scary. Like I had friends posting the missiles, like being deployed in the air and stuff, and it's like that is insane.
It's insane.
It's nothing that we could ever imagine or understand. South Africa is so safe when it comes to much all the wood.
Where's the word?
But yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
You must be happy with the gold prices at the moment.
yeah.
Look, I mean, the thing is, I'm not that guy who buys and sells. I don't care what the gold price is. I'm buying.
Yeah.
I don't care. I will keep buying. It's not my money. It's not for me. It's for my daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell her it's not for her. It's not to go buy Hermes bags, etc. It's
I
for
mean-
her to pass on to her kids and her kids to pass
just
on.
5 coins for a bag.
5 coins, please, Dad.
5 coins, yeah. Oof.
Imagine.
Actually, it'll be closer to 6 now.
Yeah.
So I don't I don't care what the price is. It's sad for me that in the world we're living in, it's 2026, that we haven't learned anything in the past 100 years. It's sad for me that we're here again, you know?
It's scary. It's a little bit scary.
The war to end all wars, World War One, didn't happen. And World War Two happened. We're like, maybe now. And now we're starting effectively World War Three. And it's not you and I. We have no control.
Yeah.
If you take 99% of the world's population and we all sat down and we're like, do you guys want to fight? No, not really. I just want to chill. I just want to have a good life. Okay, cool. So the 1% make all these decisions that impact every one of us. And they're fine. They in safe places. Their kids are safe. Their families are safe. But people in Iran will die, and people in Syria will die, and people in Dubai will get injured, and some will die. It's like there's no rational behavior anymore. And pragmatically, there's two thoughts here. One, wars create culling opportunities for humans, population control, that sort of thing. If 14 million Russians who died in World War I and II, or World War I, if they were still around, the population of the Earth or the world right now would be past the 9 billion mark. So there's a whole thing about that. All good and well, but it's your family, it's your friends, it's your loved ones that are just never given that opportunity to just be like, okay, we've worked hard, now we can just sit and chill. No, okay, there's another thing now. So government is now imposing wars, and then there could be conscription, young boys are being sent off to fight, and these days women as well would be sent off. Then there's like, okay, now, but what's happened to the cost of oil? So oil has skyrocketed, so food is going to become expensive. Transport's going to become expensive. Are companies suddenly going to start giving us 20 and 30% increases?
No.
Not likely. So all that's happened is...
Yeah, man, I wonder if the gender equality is going to kick in now with going to war, Women are going to start saying, damn,
Look,
I don't want the men's jobs now.
Dude, you're touching on topics here.
I am not going to war. I'll be at home. Thank you. No, but
Touching topics here.
Just kidding.
Josh, cut that out.
No, but it's for me, the most concerning thing is how desensitized we are about war.
Exactly.
Bombs are going off and everyone's like, another meme drops, Oh man, take your money there.
It's actually hard to live in society today because we're so stimulated by so much. I mean, it's not even just the war, it's the Epstein files and people doing terrible, terrible things.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
I'm trying to make sense of what it all means from sitting back and being like, well, why is this news? Because there's a reason for news going on,
Yeah.
Why is this the most important thing that I'm
Epstein
hearing?
files.
Yeah.
Epstein, the wars, even what was happening in Gaza and with Israel, and it's like this. It's like you're always trying to from this note of investing, like where are we putting our money? Because so much volatility in the market. You're like, I'm trying to stay ahead of it, but I'm always like, I didn't see this coming, And then you start thinking to yourself like, well, was I so sure about crypto? Now it's like, or should I have been investing in gold? Did I miss something? But I think it's like maybe you can advise us here on this.
It's a good time to be a CA.
Listen, I'm not Jared went off and did the JIT program.
Yeah.
When I left Deloitte, 2010, December 2010, my exit farewell was burning bridges at the same time. Like I was never going back to audit. I hated audit. Auditing for me sucked my soul.
Yeah.
So that wasn't for me. Not the best CA to be talking to. I've got the credentials, but I'm not the best CA to be talking to. But at the same time, I'm also not a financial advisor. What I realized though, that's probably most important for me, is that I'm probably going to live a fairly decent life, barring any unfortunate circumstances, until I'm 70. And then life starts falling apart rapidly, the body aches and bones wearing and diapers.
You never know. With technology these days, you don't know.
From your lips to God's ears, because man, I still feel like I'm really young. So I don't know. But if you only have a limited amount of time, you really have to make the most of it. You have to be happy in that time. For me, happiness is probably the only thing I want to bank. I want to make sure that in that time, my wife, my daughter, myself, we've got a massive wealth of happiness. Because if I can leave that with my daughter, I had more good memories than bad memories. I'm fine. Like,
Yeah.
life is great. So what are the things to follow? I don't know, man. I always feel that as much as Matt might be really intelligent and have access to a lot of good information, the world doesn't work where Matt will have an advantage over an institutional investor, that has billions to pay, that has people lobbying government, that can influence policy, that is aware of policies changes that are happening before it happens, that would know about wars before they break out.
Yeah.
So day investors, you, me, everyone else, versus institutional investors who are the waves or the whales. Let's call it the whales in the ocean that can create waves. You and I are the drops moving along with it. So I invested a lot in shares and I made a lot of money, and then I lost a ton of money, and I couldn't understand why. I mean, I followed the rules. Benjamin Graham's intelligent investor, Warren Buffett, snowball theory, etc. I followed the rules, but it didn't help. Certain things are just beyond your control. You invested in Steinhoff, which was doing great, doing amazing, and signed off by Deloitte, and what a great company. We used to be on the audit for them as well. Not me, but our branch, or our office rather. And you invested in them, and you're like, okay, what's going on now? Like, Marcus Jooste was busy stealing from everyone, and he eventually killed himself.
You just never know.
You're just not going to know. And then you're investing in what's the one in the States, the energy company, Enron.
Yes, it was.
Enron.
Oh, is it the Big Short? That one you're talking about?
Big Short was
No, not the Big Short. What
That
was
was
it?
property.
JP Morgan
right?
Chase and
Yes.
all the guys who had
Goldman
the
Sachs.
Goldman Sachs, the guys who were selling off subprime lending,
Yes.
whatever. Cool
That was
movie.
interesting.
Very,
Such
very
a cool
cool.
movie.
You were like, I wish I could have followed this dude
Yes.
and made a few
He
billion
always
as well.
talks about him all the time.
Gosh. My
Hindsight
friend
is an
actually,
incredible thing.
I was having breakfast. He's like, did you see what happened with Iran this morning? And that was the morning of. He's like, I shorted a whole lot of crypto coins.
Sheesh.
So he shorted against all these plummeting of the crypto, and he's like, bro, you made huge bank.
Yeah,
from doing that. And then I thought, like, how do you short? Where are you shorting stocks? So like,
I mean, that's what he does.
yeah. So it's like that got me thinking. Like,
There's just some
you're
people that
lucky at
are
shorting-
sitting ahead of the
Probably
curve.
luckier shorting, or better off shorting a couple stocks and shares right now than or putting your money on things to go up because of the volatility. It's like, I don't know. What do you think about that? Like,
Shorting is good in a market like this because things are
Risky.
very volatile, right? So volatility is where shorts become great because up, down, you've got your stop losses, so you can only lose so much. And if the share drops drastically, you're going to make a ton of money, right? But the problem with that is longevity.
Yeah, it's not a long term.
Like you're sitting there and you're watching candles and this and that constantly, and your stress levels must be something else.
Yeah.
Or
You
hiring
have
tons
to.
of
That's what I'm
analysts.
saying. Like he's got the time to sit and do that because that's what he does.
yeah.
So he is a little bit ahead of the curve. But if you're like someone where it's like that is not your end all and be all,
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
not what you're doing, it is
Yeah.
very stressful. Yeah.
But let's say you had a brand, as a brand strategist. You created a brand that is constantly paying you.
Yeah.
Whether the market's up or down, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You're making money.
100%.
And if you're living in a way that's not beyond your means, whatever you make is more than enough because, like I look at Elon Musk, $738 billion.
It's insane.
And then I read that one statistic, all of us must have read it. If you spent $1 million a day from the time Jesus was born till now, you still wouldn't have enough. You wouldn't have spent enough money. If you made $1 million a day from the time Jesus was born, you still wouldn't have enough money as Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hold on a
That's
second.
insane.
Yeah, it's wild
Like,
to think about. It's like,
I was looking at like the 17th richest person is like he's got like 2 or 3 billion.
17th richest.
17.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much like 4 billion or something. And I was like,
You really
the
go in depth,
difference-
don't you? I think I only know 1 and 2.
No,
maybe.
just because it was actually it's totally unrelated. It was pop culture related that we
Okay.
found out this.
I was like, Kim does massive research, guys. Like, she goes to the
I'll tell you how
17th
it
level.
started.
No, the 17th person. That's the richest person in
Researching
Jeez.
the world.
Beckham.
Elon Musk it's like insanity.
Vast.
It's
vast.
vast. It's
But even first place, second place, third place, big difference.
big difference. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I was like for 3 days bewildered.
Yeah. So that's how I like to look at it. I'm not saying, geez, to have Elon's money would be insane. I never want anyone else's money. I'm very happy with my life.
Yeah.
But I always feel that if you have enough to have a good life, and you have enough that's earning wealth in the background, so even if the inflation becomes ridiculous, you're still going to be okay. And your kids hopefully will be okay. Because I think that's what we can hope for.
Yeah.
Unless one of us is going to invent, like, I don't know, the next biggest thing. You know,
You never know too.
you never know, but you have to have the opportunity. If you're not, if you are not able, like if you're chasing food and water and security and house and clothing, if you're chasing half the pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you're never going to have time to think about the mag strip on the back of a card and make like big money.
Exactly.
You're never going to think about, oh wow, what if I put satellites in space and if I can bring them down? Like, who thinks that way?
Yeah.
You need to, like, Elon's parents were rich. His father was wealthy. He could afford to think that way. And not taking anything from him, the man worked very hard. And he's probably the most inspirational person of our time. He's our, in my personal opinion, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but he's our Einstein, you know, of this time. He's taken humanity to another level just by doing what he does.
Yeah. And there's so much we don't even understand or haven't seen or haven't been privy to. Like,
I heard an interesting thing
some of
about him. Though,
technology.
like, why would you get into space travel and then electric power cars and now what's the other one?
Boring company, digging holes.
It's like,
Underground.
okay, like you're going underground tunnels, and then it's like, well, if you look at his bigger vision of getting to Mars, all these things are going to come to play.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Like,
he literally had a vision.
it's that
after
big,
his bigger vision and everything else is sub creations of
that big audacious goal. I
of
think
that big
Gary
audacious goal.
Big Gary Vaynerchuk speaks about that.
Big audacious, big hairy audacious goal.
Goal, yeah.
BHAG.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
So have money, let your kids go and do incredible things, and
Hopefully.
yeah,
I mean, even what you're saying on this Maslow thing is safety. If you let your children feel the safety of going after their goals, where they don't have to think day to day, like that's a beautiful space to
Oh, yeah,
to go,
definitely.
to live in. When you're not,
It's not
you don't
so
have that. You don't have that. I mean, that parents can't put that on you, even if they're doing well. It's like this level of like, you can't have that, and it's like we need to cut back on money, cut back on things. Like even growing up, like I had moments like that when we all go through ups and downs, in our family. It's like to not let that spill into your children's thinking is for me a big
profound.
Yeah, it is profound. I
The
think.
impact that it could have,
Yeah.
massive dividends in the
Long
future.
term. And that's the thing about, like, I always speak to Matt about this, is like creating a magical childhood for your children, where it's like almost like whimsical and fantastical every day, because that's eventually who you become.
Childhood or the actual child?
No, yeah, the childhood, like,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
making your children's life magical in a way
yeah.
that's like, because when you grow up, you actually think that there's going to be a switch that goes off and say, oh, I'm an adult now, I understand taxes, I understand having to pay for things. But you actually don't. You're actually just that little boy, that little girl that's living through your past experiences that can come up either as traumas or teach you how to be, adverse, or someone that can be resilient. And that comes from childhood. So
Oh, yes.
creating that childhood that is creating that resilient adult, that's important for us as well.
But resilience comes from, my personal opinion, from failure, right? Because how do you become resilient in the face of adversity when you've had a great life up until that point?
Sure.
I understand that, but what I would say is that, like, if you're putting, like when Matt was speaking about, if you're putting parental problems onto kids and they think, like, how do I explain this in a way? The way that a child is taught how to regulate can create a more resilient adult. So that they don't get stressed or high anxiety when the situation arises.
Yeah.
They can be more resilient to understand if they have all the facts. Yes, it does come with experience, but it also comes with the experience of life that you give to them.
Yeah.
So it's not
Fair
always
enough.
failure.
Fair enough. I think the tough parts
Yes.
are, you've gone through it, I've gone through it, Matt's probably gone through it as well.
Yeah.
Where no matter what you're doing right, life is not aligning.
Yes.
You're doing everything the right way. Right way. You've done the degree, you've done the good job, and then you settled with the wrong partner. You know, because for me, that's quite a big thing. I've got a little girl. If I had a son, I'd probably want to teach him in a similar vein. But my daughter, I teach her that you're not beholden to anyone. If a situation is not good, even your parents, if your parents are making you feel a certain way and you're not happy, they have no right to make you feel that way. You can leave.
Yeah.
Obviously not now, like you can't afford to leave now, but
Yeah.
in time, if you don't want to be, as much as mom and dad have brought you into this world and given you the best that they could, but if you feel that mom and dad are not good for you in your life, you must feel free to extricate yourself.
Yeah. But you're teaching that.
I'm trying my
Yeah.
best.
So you're teaching, this is what I'm saying, you're cultivating that. So when they get to that point where there's adults that will stay in the situation. Why
Yeah.
is that? Because their past dictated they do. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And they were never taught that, the lesson that you're teaching. So
Yeah, it's like my biggest worry is I don't think my daughter's ever going to have to worry about bread and milk. You know, that's
Yeah.
not going to be her issue. But saddling herself with the wrong partner,
yeah,
That's
that's
a
something
big
so
one.
out of your control.
are completely out of my control. And
But actually, it is a little bit. You just be a good dad, and she will find that she will look for someone that emulates those good traits.
you think so, but unfortunately, the world just doesn't work that way. Like I meet
I
people.
think on that note, the trust that no matter what decision she makes, she knows she can come to you.
Yes.
So that was an important one. You know, someone once told me, one of my, it's a therapist, not a not those clinical. She does-
Psychologist.
not those ones. The ones that does beauty things. You know.
Contrast therapist. So known as.
So the lady that
Beauty
waxes me. The lady that waxes me. Anyway. I was trying to find a nice way to
It's
say it.
actually the beauty therapist. I
Oh,
should have
geez.
known.
Anyway, so she told me, she said something her dad told her was that if you ever need money, you come to me. So you're not ever beholden on a man. You're not never beholden on your employer. You're never beholden to yourself where you feel now, I've got to go out and do something that's not right. You know,
Yes,
like
yes,
stealing,
yes, I got
whatever.
you.
Dad is there, which is nice. It's a good thing, especially when you're younger, because I feel that every 10 years I change so much in my thinking that I wish my mind could be in my younger self,
Yeah.
just for simple things. And unfortunately, in the same way, like every journey we each have to go through, your child is going to go through a similar themed journey. They're going to find that human beings are really crappy at times. They have to find the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're going to find that people in authority aren't always correct. They're going to find that doing all the right things doesn't always get you to the place that you deserve. So in those situations, you have to hold firm in your belief in yourself
Yeah.
so that you can persevere through it
Yes.
and not give up. So many things I wish she would have access to from a young age. And no matter how many times you try and explain these things,
Yeah.
until you are in a relationship, each of us would know this because we've all gone through horrific ones. And until you're in a relationship with someone on paper who should be great, and it's just a horrible human being to you. Not to say that they in general are. They're just not for you.
Yeah.
And when you're in that situation, you need to know that it's okay to let go
Yes.
and move on.
Yeah.
But those are things that, you know, my little one's going to have to learn on her own. And I just, in that time, I don't want her to find someone that she's dependent on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's like when she looks at your relationship with your wife, she'll know what is good and what is bad. And sometimes, even when you're in it, and this is what happens to a lot of people, they have these rose-colored glasses on of what a good relationship should be. So if you emulate that life for her, she'll be able to discern much quicker in that space what is good and what is not.
You hope so.
You hope so.
but too many stories of good families ending up with tragic situations.
No, it's true.
Too many stories.
Also true.
The thing is, like you said, a lot of your trauma and what shapes you as a human being comes from your childhood.
Yes.
So the first 20 years of your life essentially dictates the remaining 60,
I would say even younger, like the first.
You think 5 is more, the first 5 or 6 or 7?
Yeah, I just think fundamentally things that are not conscious and not rational, things that like your perception of what love should be. You grow up with a family that's, always fighting and you think that's how it should be.
Sure.
Yeah. That's why I say it actually starts from a very young age of what do you see in your home? And I think being good parents means when you're living it out and your kids get to see that, they understand when they're older that that's what's actually good.
Yeah.
And not the situation I'm in. And then they make the right decision.
Yeah.
I think they
I agree with
unconsciously begin to attract that
They do.
energy,
That's why they say
that they've seen and felt with you.
yes.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, I wish
that's-
we all had
that's
the
saying,
answers.
I mean, statistically,
we 2 years in as
yeah,
parents.
we only, I mean, come on. We
Love it.
also like freshly married too, so.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well done.
But, I mean, we're doing our best.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
If you can do your best every day and your heart is in the right place,
Yeah.
I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. Because not every day is a good day, too.
I mean, unfortunately, Kim, that is life.
Yes.
It can't always be good, but touch wood, I can honestly say that I have a lot more good than bad. In fact, I don't even remember the last paper. It was like 10 years ago, somewhere there. But
It's because you bought that vase.
the vase was last year.
Heirloom.
The heirloom.
You know, midlife crises?
Yeah.
I turned 40 this
People
year, right?
buy Ferraris and you bought a vase. I love it.
So just before I saw it, I was like, what do I do? Man, I'm turning 40. Let me spoil myself. That's what I bought a vase. It's like, why? You should have bought the Ferrari.
On your Instagram bio. It should be.
Yeah, of course. So anyway, do the best you can. I think we are very fortunate
We are.
to be speaking from a point of privilege.
Yes.
And I think the biggest dream or aspiration we have right now is that our kids have the life we have or the standard of life we have or better,
Better, yeah.
right? And we can only hope that the world is kind enough for them and they are agile enough and adept enough to allow for that to happen. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Look, we gotta hope that there is a level of hardships for them, our children, because like we said, in comfort nothing grows. So allowing them to be in hardships, but also having that safety blanket of home. It's like I can fail and feel comfortable that when I get home, there's this level of encouragement to go out and do it again.
Yeah.
Never to be, the resilience is built by a constant level of failure. And knowing that it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
Safety.
I agree with you.
So it's like, and that's the thing about privilege is sometimes we take away, we rob them of that hardship that they should have gone through, like that they could have gone through, but we protected them so much from navigating around bad environments, people that were going to hurt them, situations that would have brought them down. So they never, like you said, they were coddled into. I know I was as a kid. My mom was in every way the most loving and most compassionate. Always wanted to remove me from any hardship, and it made me into quite a soft child. And I had to find, the balance of my dad putting me in hardships, through different situations, and
Paying
find
rent.
that, you know what I mean? Hey?
Paying rent.
Paying rent,
Brown people don't pay rent. We don't believe in paying rent. That's
Brown
the
people.
way.
Yeah.
We pay other things.
Yeah.
We've got like,
Yeah.
Kim
you're gonna pay the helper this
Kim
month.
always thinks about
You
me.
know what I mean?
Working as a child, I had to work when I was 7. I was like, yo.
I worked my whole life. I loved it.
Yeah, so it's.
Worked your whole life. Good.
Yeah.
It's nice though. Working is nice. I enjoy it.
Working is good. It also gives you purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually I'm going to settle home with my children.
I'm
maybe,
grateful.
so.
Honestly, I've
Nice one.
there's some parts of me that like maybe I could have had more hardship, but I'm grateful that I got to explore some new things. To know that at the end of the day, like we said, passion is a thing. It's a lie that we tell people, like, go after your passion. Because at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is purpose. And I didn't realize what purpose was until our daughter was born. That was
Oh,
like
beautiful! What
nothing.
a what a
Yeah.
nice thing to say.
For real, man. I was like, "Ugh, this makes me wake up in the morning and want to work hard. Like,
Oh, I love
if
that.
anything, it's like building this life and this family. And
Beautiful. Well
didn't
done.
have that before, you know. Didn't have a sense of God, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like such a deeper connection to how amazing our life is, you know, like celebrating God's creation. And,
Right. Beautiful.
through our daughter, and it's just like,
Kids are beautiful that way.
man,
They
it's like,
they almost like wipe out all the trauma you had
Yeah.
as a
And you're
kid,
like,
and it just becomes like so peaceful and
And it just
enjoyable.
makes you less selfish. You're such a selfish person before you have kids. Jeez.
damn, man, like I just,
You just
I care so much.
if you're living till the end of the month, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm making 200K, I'll spend the whole 200K. You know, you don't care. You're like, okay.
I'm
but
coming
yeah.
to one of your parties for sure. 200 grand. Jeez.
So,
I'm feeling bad
But,
about my bars and you
Yeah.
guys.
but yeah, kids, have kids, man.
Yeah,
Kids are
kids are
good,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant.
You have any more kids?
No, I'm
Content.
a CA, so like we were very focused. We were very focused, and now I was very. Look, I'm a middle child,
Okay.
so all of that should explain everything I'm about to say. I feel that if I can give all my love and attention and energy into that one relationship, that I will rest easy if she becomes a complete failure. Because I've done everything I could. And the world just didn't want her to do any better. And it's life, you know?
Yeah.
Not everyone can be a winner or even just be okay. So I didn't want to have, because every parent has their favorites. And I know, you know, you're not supposed to talk about it and everyone doesn't talk about it. And
It's hard being a favorite.
there we go.
Matt has 3 siblings. He's one of 4. But
One of 4.
Yeah.
And you're the favorite. There we go. So every child knows who the favorite is. So the others have to make do with knowing they are not the favorite, right?
Yeah.
So you live your life in that way, understanding that
You weren't the favorite.
I was not. Clearly, I'm the middle
Yeah.
child. I'm not the
Yeah,
favorite.
you see it.
I became
My
the
brother
favorite
also
at-
became a CA because
He's
he wasn't.
like, yeah, I'll be my
He's like,
family.
yeah, I'm gonna be the wealthiest.
At least.
So wealth brought me a lot of favors.
I don't have to be the favorite. I can be the richest. It's
There you go.
He buys the most gifts for Christmas every year.
Oh, there we go.
It's hard, you know.
Yeah.
I just
So I was very clear that one was enough.
Yeah.
I really love kids. I would love to have 12 kids. That's not even a joke. That's real. Just so that I have this swarm
Yeah.
of family
Yeah.
children, and I'd want them all to be girls if I could. All daughters around. It would be heaven for me.
Yeah, right.
But also practically, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have my little one and know that she's my favorite everything, you know, constantly. So, and give her all of that, so that when she finds some partner, whether it's male, female, whatever, but whichever partner she chooses in life at some point, if they are giving her less than, she should understand it's not enough. It's not good enough. And I'm not willing to take less than.
For sure.
And at the same time, also be willing to give all of yourself. A lot of us, like the social media era, and maybe before that as well, it would have been like Hollywood and fairy tale sort of living, created a lot of expectation on what relationships should be. And if you did not find that, if you did not live up to it from your side, or your spouse or partner or whatever the relationship was didn't live up to it, it was quite traumatic when you're younger. Thank God all of this was back in the day.
Yeah.
But you have to go through a lot of this to realize that 99 is not going to be right, but the one might be. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe. And they may be the right one for a time. 'Cause that's the other thing that happens. Like, you get married and no one tells you this. You get married and your spouse is not the person. Of course they're not the person. They can't be the same person they were when you were 20. Of course they have to change.
Yeah.
But suddenly it's like so divergent that you have to start thinking, geez, what am I supposed to do here? How do I pull her back? Or how do I pull myself towards her? What is the situation? And you need to be comfortable knowing that you're doing your best. And she needs to be comfortable knowing she's doing her best. And both of you have to be content and happy knowing that what you have is really special. All my peers, I just turned 40, so all my peers are getting divorced all around me.
Oh no.
Because when you're 40, your life starts changing. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, suddenly I'm not willing to put up with this anymore. Or, worse than that, so that's a whole nother podcast. I don't want to go too deep. But women change a lot.
Yeah.
Men change a lot. You were, I don't know, you guys were best of buds, and suddenly you don't have that much besides the kids. And there was, there's a lot of attention externally that will come your way on both sides, and people succumb to that. But then what happens is, what I've seen is they blow up their entire lives, like torpedo financially any sort of, any sort of asset building that was done is gone. So your kids are the ones that are suffering by this.
Yeah.
You still have money, you can live, you're going to die anyway, soonish. But your kids, you've robbed your kids of all of this now.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
it's
a lot.
it's often for something short term too.
Kim,
Not
that's why I
always.
said it's a deep one, hey? Because, see, I believe that there are things that happen that need to happen in your life, and ultimately, if you're living in a way that's decent, fairly decent, like you're a good person, you're not trying to hurt anyone, but if you're managing that happiness. So I'll use this example. How many 60, 70-year-olds do you know that are still married, but they don't really love each other? Do you know any?
I don't actually know many old people.
I know lots
My
of old
grandparents are like, both my granddads died really young, so I don't even get to meet them. So I don't actually know any.
people. Aunts, uncles.
60? Oh yeah, they actually
Well, I mean,
are
the
in
word,
their 60s.
so it's interesting, love each other. Like, I think there's,
I've learned to tolerate each other. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
See, the problem is you tolerating.
yeah.
And for me, that's not good enough. So I feel that when you get to a stage like that in your marriage where it's tolerating, it's not love, it's not she's my best friend, it's not I can't wait to spend every moment with her, I can't, I just heard this incredible thing, I have to go and tell her about it. If it's not that, I feel that it's probably a good idea to go and find it again.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you need to be trapped because of societal pressures and because of religious beliefs and whatever. I think all of that sort of stifles you. I think that if you're not putting in that work, and sorry, maybe I must rephrase this. I feel that if you feel that it's work now and it's not pleasure,
Yeah.
then you're keeping up a pretense, and you might do a really good job at it, keeping up that pretense.
Yeah.
But is it fair? Is it fair on you? Is it fair on your spouse? If she's getting less than, wow, amazing, fantastic, incredible, and you're getting less than that, where's the value? Because you only have a limited amount of time.
It's also true.
So short term, if you're just going for a physical type of relationship, it's probably going to be short term.
Yeah.
But what if you meet someone, I don't know, when you're 50, and I've seen it, that's why I'm talking about it. When you're 50, and you meet someone that's like, wow. Because she wouldn't have been wow when you were young, because you guys didn't know each other and didn't have the opportunity. But you meet someone.
Yeah.
And what if your spouse meets someone when they're 50? At that point, should you lean back on your cultural beliefs and your societal beliefs of what's right and wrong and your religious beliefs to hold on to something and die together for the sake of keeping up the pretenses? Or should you say, hold on, let's be rational about this. Maybe we should explore other things. It's a difficult one, and I don't have an answer for it, except to know that I'm never getting divorced.
Yeah.
That's
Same.
why
No,
it's
look,
you
it's-
can't
So
afford it.
for me,
It's
like
just
I
too
think
damn
like
expensive.
yes, but I also believe that everything is novelty at first. So if you're not putting in the work equally, because everything eventually is going to reach a point whether it's a work or a job or a marriage or a friendship, that it needs to be injected every day.
Oh,
It's a
100%.
decision you make every day. So yes, you're going to sometimes go, veer apart because life is, difficult, but then it's important you come back together. And I believe that can still be cultivated till when you're 70, 80. Because everything seems exciting when it's new. And then you could meet the person when you're 50, and then 2 years down the line, 3 years, 4 years, there's going to be someone else that's beautiful and new, you know? So I think it's a debatable topic because, yes, there are reasons. I think there are definitely some reasons where if that call for divorce, which is like infidelity, abuse, you know, stuff like that. But I also believe that if you know, with instant gratification and the world of this, it's actually like you think you have options, but it's an illusion.
Okay.
You know, the illusion of options rather than working at something. You get what I'm saying?
I think I do. I'm on the same page with you. I feel that you should be giving your all.
Yeah.
But when you're in a situation where you give your all and your spouse is giving their all, but it's not enough, like eat, pray, love.
Yes.
Okay. Like I always think of Diana. I think that was, for me, really tragic because Diana and Prince Charles, they just didn't love each other. They tried. They did everything right. They just didn't love each other.
Yeah. But I also
Charles-
think that, I mean, that was infidelity as well. Yeah.
Well, okay, wait. Fair enough. Okay, that's a third podcast on its own. But you've got Charles, who's madly in love with Camilla Parker Bowles.
Yeah.
And say whatever you want. You know, it's not for us to judge aesthetically who's what at the end of the day. But madly in love that they ended up together eventually.
Yeah.
That tells you a story. In of itself, that is a story.
Yeah.
You've got
But then I don't think he married her because he loved her. If he was in love with
didn't.
someone else. Yeah.
he was forced to.
Exactly. So that's a different situation.
Fair enough, but I think all of us, when you are, I mean, we're getting married at what, 20s, in our 20s, 30s. These days it's 30s.
Yeah.
The Gen Zs have it the best. They're clever. They're like, no, I'm never
They're going to
getting
get married when they're 60.
I'm never getting married. I'm not going to get married. You see, because like practically, we don't need a person anymore. You don't need a person. So you must want the person.
Yeah.
When you want the person,
Yeah.
it changes the dynamic. You see? And that's why I said it is important. But why is it that so many, you guys are still fairly young. Where are you? Like early 30s?
36.
33.
33, 36, okay. So you'll start seeing with your friends as well, your peers, happily married, Instagramming every day and, you know, loving it and, oh, did this and did that and did all these beautiful things. Oh my God, they got divorced. How sad. Why? Where did it come from? How did this happen?
Yeah.
I think there is this part where if I told you to speak Mandarin, you could learn it. You could go and study it and you'd force yourself and you'd learn it and you'd speak it. But you will always dream in English because that's your home tongue. That's your mother language. Any thought that goes through your mind, significant thought, would be in English first until you get to a place where it is just overwhelming Mandarin, and then eventually you'll cycle through your brain in Mandarin constantly. So you can learn a behavior, but if your heart and soul is not in it, then it becomes tricky. So I always say, and this is the reason I bring this all up is because, again, I've got a daughter, so I don't want her to be in a relationship where she has this overwhelming feeling that she's not doing enough, that she has this constant burden on her to be doing more, to be applying herself, because that's what society tells you. If you're unhappy, if your spouse is unhappy, it's because you haven't worked hard enough. It's because you haven't put in the effort. And I don't believe that to be the case all the time. I think you have to give all of yourself constantly, and if it's enough, it'll be enough. And if you're not getting that reciprocation, you should feel fine to leave, because I think life is too short. And everyone's going to be really upset with me and tell me I'm advocating, but my marriage is really special to me. It worked for me.
Yeah.
Because I would never have been where I am if not for my marriage. My marriage worked well for me.
Yeah.
But not everyone's marriage does that.
It's also true. Yeah.
So, you know, I look at the people. I love old people. Most of my friends are old, and I love aunts and uncles, and for me that's always fun to talk to them. But I'll talk openly. You know, like there's nothing that's taboo for me. I'll ask you about weird things. I don't want to mention it here because people will start giving me a very hard time online. But I'll ask you a question that you would feel would be inappropriate to ask about. And you get a lot of insight into that.
Yeah.
You'll understand that not everyone on face value is living the life that they want you to think they're living. I know couples who hate each other, but they're still together, going for their 40 and 50 year anniversaries. And you look at that and I'm like, I'm not willing to live that life. I don't want to do it.
Especially
and neither would
towards
I
the
want
end of
my
your
wife
life,
to do it.
like, oh God, no.
Exactly. I'd rather be the 60-year-old,
Spinster.
I think
whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it
there's
is.
so much to say on this topic, but I mean, I think the root of all of it is, do you love yourself?
Yeah.
And I think what happens, some people get into relationships out of this need for someone else to fulfill that love that they need. So you make them feel like that in the beginning.
Right.
And then you grow and you realize, I actually do love myself at a later stage in your life. And these are the people that get the divorces or move on. But I think like with Kim, in my past relationships, I didn't love myself. So my exes were just constantly, it was like, I need to get out of this because...
I knew you had some hard stories in you.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think, I do believe at a point in my life, I started to find that self-love of like, actually, I actually feel this way about myself. So I can attract someone that loves me the way I love myself. And it wasn't a lot of love, but it was enough that Kim kind of found that in me, you know, and it's like, someone made me, and I'll never forget that feeling of like, when I first met her, I was like, wow, like, this is love.
That's
This
beautiful.
is America,
Well done.
you know? And I think, yes, on Instagram, we look like the most amazing couple, but we have a lot of hardships, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of things that people don't see. And I always worry, like, are we showing the real side, the authentic side? Like, yes, I love it that we can show the most amazing parts of our life through social media. But I mean, I also want people to know that there's a lot of hardships. There's a lot of times where we think about leaving each other. And it just comes back to like, can we meet each other?
I never thought about leaving him. I'm learning.
No.
You learning something here?
She's never.
I'm so sorry.
Look, that's my past traumas, you know. But
Right.
it's like I run away, you know. I'm a
Yeah.
person that's like when things
Withdraw.
get hard, I'll run and I'll withdraw. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, because I think that's what's gonna happen to me. It's like she's gonna leave me, but she always comes back and it's like there's that nurturing, there's that healing, you know, like, and that's where I get through like all these past traumas. I'm like, wow, like someone's able to work through it with me, you know. And I think that's what I've learned with Kim, like all those little hardship moments. Now I'm like mature enough to be like, I actually need to do the things that I did in the beginning, you know. When she'd call me in the beginning of our relationship, it was like I would run there because I wanted her to like me so much. Those are the things that got her to like me. It was like all the efforts are made. So now that we've 4 or 5 years down the line, I can't think that we're gonna have that same love without all the little efforts I was making. So I'm like, you know, maybe I should start doing things that made her feel special in the beginning. You know, that maybe that will spark the light again. You know, instead of just thinking we withering away into this abyss of unhappiness with each other, and it's just like drifting. And you think you're making efforts, and you're actually making efforts out of the condition of, will she love me? And Kim says this to me, it's like, don't do things for love, do things with love.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
You know what I mean? And that's something I think about. Like, I'm not washing the dishes so she loves me tonight. I'm washing the dishes so she feels a little bit less stressed today, you know? And then it's like, maybe that, if I do that a couple times this week, suddenly the spark will ignite and, you know, we'll mend that little disconnect that we had, you know? And it seems to be working.
Nice
You
one.
know, we're 4 years in, it seems to be working. And
No, I think every marriage will go through different chapters. And even like before a child, everything's fun and exciting. Then you have the child, then it's like everything's difficult. And then everything's exciting, and then it's like difficult, and it's exciting, but it's important you just find each other. You know?
Oh yeah, beautiful. There's a lot there. I feel like I wish we could keep chatting because I'm pretty sure Josh is getting pissed off right now. It's like,
my child is getting pissed off as well.
yeah, I've got a memory card that's about to be full now. Yeah, but such beautiful things and such interesting topics to talk about. And I think it's lovely that you can engage. I wish people spoke more about real things.
Yeah.
Tell us about what's happening. We're having a hard time. Why are you having a hard time? This is what's happening. Don't listen to everyone who wants to give you advice. I love how financial investors always try and give me advice. And the first thing I say is, okay, how much money have you got? Like, I've got money. Like, how much have you got? So I know whether I should be the
Like
CTO.
financial investors don't have enough money to be giving out money.
I always feel that way, But at the same time, I feel that relationship advice is very much the same. People who want to give you advice are the ones that don't have good relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm never giving any advice to anyone because I don't have enough knowledge on it. But at the same time, I feel the guys you go and pull the information from, the old people that you like really extract nuggets of wisdom from, they don't want to talk about it because they don't feel that they have anything to talk about. But when you listen to what they're saying, you're like, wow, profound.
Yeah.
It's a lot of insight in being, experienced, in being old, having lived through things. And we have this, like you said, social media. Is it a pandemic? I don't know whether we call it that yet, but you've got this mentality that people are being brought up with that, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian said this, Kim Jones said that, Theo said this, therefore it must be right. It doesn't work that way.
No.
Because what works for Kim and Matt is not what's going to work for Theo and his wife, and it's not going to be. Yeah. But the fundamentals, do things with love, not for love. Do things because it feels right, not because you want someone to tell you it's right. It's like what my dad used to tell me. If you see something that can hurt someone else, like when you're driving and you see something lying on the road that you know it's going to hurt someone, just pick it up and toss it away so someone else doesn't have to do it. That's just like common decency. But a lot of that only happens if the camera's filming the entire thing. It's like, oh, look what I did. I picked up a brick, guys.
And that's actually the sad thing about reality as well. Are you a good person or are you a good person conditionally,
I think we're all conditional in every way. But fundamentally, if you stripped all the societal validation and affirmations that would come, would you still do it?
Yes.
That's it. Like, I don't know if you know the Sumerian, Good Samaritans.
The Good Samaritan.
Samaritans, but the Sumerian test that was done based on that. So the Good Samaritan was people would help automatically, right? Because they're good Samaritans, they're good people. And then a test was done where a good person was given a time limit to complete a task. But on the way to complete that task, they stepped over someone who needed help. So a person would be having a heart attack or something silly along those lines. And in every case where a person was put under pressure, they did not help. In every case where a person did not have pressure, they helped. So it's like, it's weird. We are good conditionally. If I asked you to help someone, you would assist as long as it didn't hurt you or your family. You get what I'm saying?
But then that's a morality thing as well. It's like, what is actually good, what is actually bad? But we know what's good and what's bad, intuitively.
I think it's that feeling inside.
Yeah.
If
So
inside you're happy,
yeah,
and you don't feel, you're not losing sleep over it, then you probably did what was right. If you're losing sleep over it and something plagues your consciousness, you probably did something wrong.
Yeah.
Can we all be good? Can we all be bad? I don't think so. I think it's yin and yang constantly. There's a little bit of good in
100%. I think that's also what's important to know.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I told you I'll talk and talk. My
Good,
apologies.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice chatting with you guys, and all the best with the new baby.